It was November of 2020, and guess what? Another dark and I wouldn't say snowy, but basically a very cold day outside was just creating itself. And I was just sitting there on my chair, waiting for our online classes to start once again, and I was just thinking to myself, is this gonna be another shitty day where I'm just gonna stay inside all day? I'm not even gonna go step outside. I'm just gonna be here and watch YouTube videos all day to comfort myself. And that's exactly what had been happening for the past month. You see, during the second COVID pandemic, I didn't leave my house for months on end. That would happen pretty regularly. And the longest period was like a month and a half. And during that one period, I didn't step outside of like my area of my house for for so long, bro, that I straight up was having panic attacks inside of my own house because of the stressful environment that my school caused me. All of the teachers yelling at me in my own house. All of that stress was transferred from school to my house, and so of course that 13-year-old version of myself couldn't handle all of this stress, and so that led me to only focus on the things that are making me sad, which was the weather since it was winter already, which was, I don't know, my bad grades in school since that was everything that was my life revolving around. Even my parents were asking me about my grades. And yeah, it wasn't just good at all. The environment was crap. And even when the pandemic finally ended and I returned into my regular life, it just continued forward. I was completely stuck in the negative feedback loops of not being able to resist my addictions, of not being able to see the positive side, the one that I actually wanted to receive, and not being able to become masculine, to be provitive, and being reliant on other people to feel better, instead of becoming the lighthouse for other lighthouses that lacked light to come to me and to get stronger as a result. But you see, something changed in summer of 2023, and from that point onwards, I started to improve myself each and every single day. And from that day onwards, from that one singular video, I learned that if you don't smile, the mirror will never smile before you do. You need to first become it before the world proves it to you. You see, God, the universal law of mentalism, always reflects back onto you what you feel internally and what you focus on. That is an unchangeable law, and you cannot change it at all, since it is a law of the universe, and everyone who lives in the universe must obey it. That's how it works. And so, in order to change and to receive something else from the universe, you need to acknowledge the fact, and you need to start thinking fourth dimensionally. Because when you think about it, everything in the universe is actually one. I know, allow me to explain. Basically, the universe is a realm of illusions and of laws. For example, the law of cause and effect, the law of rhythm, the law of duality and polarity, all of these things. And when you also combine it with the fact that our universe is just an illusion, since you don't see it through your eyes, you see it through your frequency, and plus your eyes just take in electromagnetic signals and send them to your brain, and plus your eyes can only receive 0.0035% of the entire electromagnetic, space. And your brain only constructs an image of what it thinks it is seeing. So, yeah. Until you don't stop putting new ideas into your subconscious mind, then you will just continue receiving what you're receiving right now. What you're what you're getting angry over is an illusion. Now, illusion doesn't mean that it is not real. It is just not what it makes itself out to be, meaning that it is stirring up emotions inside of you that are actually real because emotions are energy in motion, which is actually the realest thing in the universe. And so then that gets transmitted into your subconscious mind and then it returns to you over and over again. And so, with that being said, as I said, the realm of illusions and the realm of laws, you must remember that to the Creator, God Himself, who views the entire universe holistically because He is infinite, meaning that He's not confined by by a finite mind. He's not confined by his eyes or any senses. No, no, no. He perceives everything, meaning that every single energy, you can think of it as ice and vapor, for example, as white and dark, is the same energy. At what point is an object white, and at what point is an object black? Right? Just really think about it. And your your response may only be based on your eyes, but your eyes can be deceived. Meaning that every single opposite, every single pair of opposites in this world is actually the same energy. That's heavy, isn't it? And so, until you don't stop viewing every single thing in this universe in the fourth dimension that is not confined with time and space constraints, once you start thinking from the position of the creator, you can activate the part inside of you that is an aspect of the creator, which is your imagination. And then you can construct a scene where you already have the desire that you're looking for. And you can then immerse yourself in that desired reality so much through all of your five physical senses that you will naturally build up the feeling of being in it. And that feeling will get adopted into your frequency, which your frequency is like a radio frequency, of course, that you send out into the universe, and then the universe, quite literally, from the fourth dimension where time and space doesn't exist, it pulls it down into, from the ether into our universe, and then it materializes for you because you felt it so hard. And energy and your emotions are the strongest energy source in the entire universe, the strongest currency, because it is energy in motion. And so, that way, that way that you can actually get it before the world proves it to you, you're gonna be smiling, and so the mirror will naturally smile before you do. The universe will just naturally reform itself into whatever you want it. It is not. I know that it is probably hard for you to believe this because I know that we've been brainwashed by the school propaganda that imagination is this some kind of a childish thing. But just think about it. Every single one of our successes in life that we got was because we never relied on anything external to motivate us internally. Think about it. I come from a second world country and a Slavic one that was, and yet I managed to learn English quite fluently to the point where I can literally speak to ethnic speakers just so effortlessly. And I never did this because anyone asked me to do it. I just naturally learned English. I watched so many English YouTubers ever since I was young because I was just naturally curious. And I felt so many times before I actually managed to learn it that it wasn't even funny. But in the end, I managed to do it. And I didn't even view those attempts as failures. I viewed them as progress. I was focusing on that rate of vibration of that energy of success and failure. That attention literally brought that reality onto me where I was a B1 English speaker, and it just naturally formed for me. I wasn't doing it for anyone else, for anything external that is just an illusion in the reality. Because whenever you externalize your power, whenever you externalize your feeling of being happy onto the universe will recognize you as its bitch, and it will do everything in its power to keep you as an energy slave. So that's why you need to detach from society and from everything external and only get the feelings of your desired reality from the internal, which is your imagination, your aspect of God. Because when you start to embody the feelings that you would get upon receiving your desired reality and thinking from the end, and once you can immerse yourself in it so much that you literally have no other option but to just feel in the mood all the time. Not because you want to prove anything to anyone, but because you just want to feel good. Then money, woman, progress, the body, health, all of these things will just naturally come flying to you. That's not an understatement. It literally happens. And also other things, anything that you can think of that you want to materialize in our physical world, it will naturally just come to you. All you need to do is just stay in that imagination state and recognize that it is the first state of reality materialization because before anything can exist physically, it must first exist mentally. And so once you can see it, you are already it when you think about it because you're embodying that frequency, you're embodying that emotion, that state, meaning that it is already real inside of you. You're bringing it back from the fourth dimension into yourself. You're embodying it, and that's true masculinity. That means that you can provide other people with value the moment that you become it because you will just naturally be compelled to take certain actions. So, of course, I know that the moment that you start to embody that frequency of making, I don't know, like 5K per month, I know that immediately you won't start making it, but you will be compelled to take certain actions, like going out with your friends and then, paying for the dinner. And so you will tap into the universal law of circulation because at its core, money, and anything else, if you're being truly and utterly honest, is just an energy that wants to be transferred, that wants to circulate even more, right? The same goes with kindness, the positive feelings inside of you. It is just an energy source that wants to circulate, right? And it doesn't mean that you're losing it. No, you're actually gonna get even more of it because, of course, when you when you compliment someone, that compliment comes to you twofold because other people will just naturally come to you, right? But that will only happen when you embody that energy, when you will embody that identity, those beliefs, the thoughts, the emotions, the attention, and all of these things that make up your frequency of your desired reality. And when you discipline yourself to stay in that visualization state or whatever technique you may choose, it can be affirmations, it can be genuinely anything. Once you become masculine with it, meaning that you can provide it instead of relying for others for approval, like a little 3-year-old girl, man up for fuck's sake, of course, you will literally start to receive everything. And that's how you become masculine. Then you can become that strong, stoic rock that never falls under any kind of pressure. But yeah, this is the blueprint. This is how you do it. You start to embody that feeling from within, you reclaim the power of your imagination, and then you supply others in your local area or whoever you want to, you know, I don't know, surprise in your reality with this feeling. That's how you do it. You first get it internally so that it can express itself outwardly, as within, as without. Always remember that. And never put your emotional reliance upon something external, because nothing in reality is infinite. Nothing in reality is truly gonna be around for an infinite amount of time. Everything is temporary. So just make sure to actually use the only thing that is infinite, which is the aspect of God within you, your imagination, to only get real energy and the real emotional dependence. Okay? Now I'm not saying that you should no longer get any any happiness, any love, any joy from, the from other people around you. No, 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 I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you should lower your emotional dependence on physical reality. Okay? So to circle back to the first point of the video, don't focus on that rate of vibration of that energy that you don't want to attract into your life. Focus on that rate of vibration that you wish to attract and build up that feeling internally through visualizations, through affirmations, through thinking the same thoughts that you would get upon receiving that reality over and over and over again. Just make sure that you feel that feeling. It is genuinely easy as that. I managed to manifest so many vacations by now. I've managed to help so many people by now. Just look at them. And I haven't even showed them a single lesson from my timeless Reader's Mindset course, which is a collection of 24 unbreakable mindsets that, if applied to your day to day life, will guarantee success in any kind of life situation, with any kind of goal, with any kind of mindset. You will be able to succeed in each and every single one of them effortlessly. And you can get them right now for the mere price of $49, when I could be charging thousands for them. But no pressure, of course. Thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.